Okay, everybody, welcome back. We are working on our video game here, the Adventures of Munyon and Flange. How cool is that? Munyon and Flange, how cool is that? So when we run our game right now, the last thing that we did, hold on. Munyon's gonna jump a little bit like that. Okay, so let's play with that, and let's go back to. I don't want Unity Hub. I want to close the Unity window. Let's go back to VS Code. And first off, I want to settings. And I want to change my font size. Maybe that's a little too big. Settings. Let's just change it to about 20 and see how that goes. Okay. Is that too big? Yeah. Let's try one more. I'll change it to 16 and see if I like that. So that's better. Okay. So what are we going to do here? First thing we're going to do. This this method is only running right here when we first. If we put it here at start, it's only going to run one time, right? So that's the thing we're doing here is to take a quick look and let's see, bring back up our window and now see what's going to happen when we run it. It's going to continue running in a straight line, right? Play, hit play. Munyon's going to run in a straight line. And yep, straight off the page. Okay, so we know that that's going to happen. Um, so let's play with a couple of things real quick. Um, First off, let me look up this thing right here called C# for loop. Okay. Copy. There we go. Now, so I'm gonna get this out the way, and let me make sure you're. Nope, you're not seeing the same thing I am. Okay, there. Bring us down to where we're all looking at the same thing. Okay, so I'm going to down here. We know that if we leave that in the update, we're going to. What the heck? Let's try this one more time. C# for loop. I just haven't written one in a while. Okay. Can I put that in there? There. Perfect. No, I don't want to add a comment. No, thank you. And make that go away. Okay, perfect. So, this is my code that I want to be executed, right? Put that down here and in here. Okay, and I like mine right up there. That's just how I like it. So this would be like for I equals 5, and then if I is greater than or equal to 0, then I minus minus. Okay, and then we're going to put that inside a void I'm gonna exit, and I forget there's a couple of really nice hotkeys to know to fix things like that, but I forget what they are at the moment. I'll remember them later, and I will share them with you. So, what did we just do? We okay. We just wrote a void. We just wrote a function. We called it movement, and then up here we can call the movement function, right? So it should work. Void movement function, and run this code. And so we initialize this. For I equals 5. Let's see if this runs. So Control S, and then we bring up our Unity window. Bring up my Unity window. Okay, yeah, so I'm already getting an error on line 23. The name I does not exist in the current context, right? So what's that saying is it doesn't really recognize it as anything. I think we need to call it int I. We're kind of getting a little advanced for what we should be doing at the moment. I'm just kind of playing. Let's go back to our Unity window. Reloading. Let's just see what happens when we run it. Okay. It is running. It's not throwing an error. But we want Munyon to, he was only supposed to move about five places. But, oh, it kept calling the method over and over again, right? So, it kept calling the movement method, so every time it called it. So, that did work. Um, So it's still moving, but that's not what we wanted. I wanted it to move 5 spaces and stop, but it still moved 5 spaces and stopped 5 spaces and stopped like indefinitely. So we didn't truly solve that problem. We'll have to come up with a fix for that later on, but that's what controllers are for. In fact, we can also prove this works if we hit stop and then we drop the script onto flange. Actually, yeah, let's leave it like that. And they're gonna go, they're both gonna run. See, that's no problem. That's not a problem. The cool thing is we wrote a for loop. We didn't need any of this, but we just wrote something to test something, and the result came out different from what I expected, but that was because of the way that I used it. When I put this method in the update method up here, it just kept running this method over and over and over again. So even if it ran and stopped, then it ran and stopped and ran and stopped over and over and over again. So that's pretty cool. And so, yeah, that's what else do we? Let's get rid of this. We don't need the for loop. We still want to keep the I still want to keep the movement function. But now let's so XYZ. Let's see what happens if we put 110 and we save that, right? And then we go back to our, so we'll save that and run our code. Okay, and he should run off to the angle there I'm expecting. Okay. I was reloading the script, checking for errors. Now they should kind of run off. Huh. Okay, they took off. I was expecting them to go on a different axis, but yeah, X and Y. If you look up here in the corner, yeah, they took off in the direction of the X and Y axis. So, okay, let's bring them back to Earth. Where you at? So yeah, they are going to go X and Y. I wanted them to go X and Z. So let's see if we can do that real quick. Close the Unity window. There's VS Code. So I want to do, I kind of want them to stay on the ground, but like run off to the, you know, run off in a weird direction. So I call that back, call this back for you, call that back for me. Okay, now we run our script, and now I'm thinking they're gonna like take off kind of askew. Can't exactly see which way they went. Okay. It kind of looks like those two little robot things from that movie, but I don't remember. I don't think anybody really liked it. You probably wouldn't recognize it. So what else do we want to do here? In VS Code, I want to slow this down. Can I put a 0.01? Can we make those floats? Okay. So what I did was I went in here and I put 0.01 in here and here. So I want to see if we can use it as a floating point value. Okay, there's our Unity. Okay. Cannot convert from a double to a float. Ah, see. C sharp is pretty strict like that. So if we put an F behind it, let's see here. If I can show you. Sometimes if we can put an F behind it, like 0.0 to tell us that it's a float, and then see if Unity will appreciate that for what it is. It looked like it might have taken it. Okay, yeah, and that's exactly what I wanted. You see how they're kind of going off in the distance like those two crap-ass robot things in the sand in that movie? Anyway, they're kind of doing that thing. That's kind of cool. Um, those robot things were annoying. Anyway, um, so what did we do there specifically? Yeah, let's go back and take a look at our code. What we did was I made that into a float by putting an F behind it. When I put an F there. Otherwise it was reading it as a double, and I'll put an F there too. So they were going a lot faster because they were going at the speed of 1, and now they're going not a tenth of that speed but a hundredth of that speed, right? So they're going a hundredth of that speed that they were going before. But to do that, we needed to use a decimal point. We needed to declare these as floats. So we're just playing with the language right now, and yep. Okay, so let's get back to, no, that's not what I want. Okay, and bring our Unity window back. So check that out one more time, make sure we didn't break anything. That happens a lot. Run our script. Yep. Okay. So there we go. Our little crap ass guys are moving along there. Munion and Flange doing their thing. Okay. So we're gonna stop that video right about here-ish, and stay tuned for the next one. I'm not sure what it's going to be about, but it's going to be just as much fun as this one, I can imagine. Alright, there we go.